Hi, everybody. This is Sandy Smith-Leva, and we are here today for a sneak peek into Accountants Accelerator 2014. I'm totally thrilled that all of you have joined me today, so I'm very excited to be here. I just got home in Plano, Texas, from being up in the Northeast for almost a week, so I'm really excited about being home, and I've got 3 calls today, so this is the first of 3, so I'm super excited to be doing this one especially. So let's jump right into it. I know that many of you like to go ahead and get your materials, get copies of the presentation. So we've made a page for you, and let me just go to that, and let's just make sure that thing is set up all great. So if you just type in sneak peek all lowercase, you should be able to get to that screen. And we have the PowerPoint right here for you to download, just to show you it does work. All right, so if you want to follow along with me, then you can do that. And this page is not passworded or anything, so you can get your PowerPoint there. And then a little bit later, the video will be available just after this call. So I wanted to have that available. Those of you who want CPE today, we are offering that at no charge, and you will be able to generate your certificate by going back to this page. So I do need you to write down accountantsaccelerator.com/sneak peek all lowercase, and that's where you will be able to get everything. All right, we're going to talk today. The agenda is what most accounting practices are doing wrong in marketing that costs them. Actually, there's quite a bit, but the bulk is what I want to talk about today. We're going to talk about 3 skills that are going to make all the difference. Some of them are not that hard. And what we can do is we can build on the skills that we have and really, really make a difference in how we can serve people, the quality of our lives, increasing our business market value. For those of you who are close to retirement, I know that might be an issue, and also just growing your business. We're also going to talk about 5 ways that you can turn around and bring more money into your business, ways that you might be leaving some easy money on the table. And then we're going to talk about the 2014 Accountants Accelerator program. We're in our 4th year. I'm just honored and blessed and totally excited to be working with you on this program. All right, so that's what we've got in store for you today. If you're on the webinar today, I am hoping that you're an accounting professional because that's what we specialize and focus in. I am hoping that you have your own accounting practice or you're considering starting your accounting practice. And hopefully you're looking to grow or improve the services that you offer to clients. You might be just starting, like I said, you might be in your first 3 years. You might be experienced, but maybe you feel like, you know, you've been working too hard and you'd like to find a way to work more productively. Or maybe you've been stuck at the same income level or you're burning out a little bit. This program meets all of those needs, and this call, this webinar today, is designed specifically if you fall into these categories. All right, and hopefully you offer something like controller, outsourced controller. Some of you might offer CFO. We have a few people like that in the program. Bookkeeping, accounting, payroll, tax, write-up, software consulting. We have very few auditors, so I did not list that on this page, but we do have some auditors. And people who are into QuickBooks and Xero and Bill.com and some of those software applications and helping the client set them up, get the most out of them, training, troubleshooting, and even some resellers. So if you offer any of these kind of services, you're in the right place today for us to be able, for you to get some good content out of this call, hopefully. All right, so that's about you, and that's hopefully who I have on the line today. I do see a lot of new names, so I'm pretty excited about that. And of course, I love having the names that I recognize as well. So who am I? My name is Sandy Smith-Leva. I am a CPA. I got my MBA and my CMA in the 1980s. I do also have a degree in IT, so my career kind of combines both accounting and IT experience. I've been lucky enough to work in both large and small firms, and I actually started doing people's books when I was in college. I seem to always be working. I think I started working when I was 13. I just love it. I got laid off in 1993, so I actually had a failure that I took an opportunity and turned that failure into an opportunity, as the motivational speakers say. And so I was scared to death, really, to start my own business, but I knew I didn't want to go back to the grind of the big, high-pressure Fortune 50 companies. I was ready to do my own thing. Well, I wasn't really ready, but I just didn't want to do the other. So what I started doing, I was so scared. I hated marketing. Back when I started in the profession, it was illegal. So we all had a horrible mindset about it. And, but we cannot continue to have that mindset because the world has changed so much. And what I see is for people who do still have that mindset about not caring about marketing, feeling like you're bugging people, or just feeling like you shouldn't have to, it should be all a referral business, that is basically, something that is costing you a lot of money right now. So I guess I just want to put the facts out there and let you come to your own conclusion about, how to look at marketing in a way that's going to be more productive for you. Because when you have an older attitude about marketing and resenting it, what happens is you're not able to serve as many people with the gifts and the skills that you have. So what I used to do in the 1990s is I used to drive all over the city fixing QuickBooks problems, doing those quarterly payroll returns, and then one day I had a wreck. And it just kind of was the culmination of, I'm making so little money per hour. I can only get 3 clients in a day doing this. How in the world am I going to make any kind of decent money off of this? So from there, which happened way back in the 1990s, I tried to find a better way. And I have been working with marketing since 1998. I've worked with the AICPA. I've worked with Intuit. You might know me as Sandy Smith. I got married in 2010 and got that new last name, Leva. And what I did in the late 2000s is I started studying and coaching with millionaires and billionaires, literally billionaires. I would have been so lucky to find some of the coaches that I've had. And you just kind of work your way through the network. And I was able to find these people, and they did, in fact, show me that within the accounting industry, there definitely is a different way of doing things, and maybe not the best way. So I have tried to bring some of these ideas into the accounting industry because I think we're all working too hard. And we're working long hours, and we're serving our clients, and we have such amazing skills that I just want to share what I learned that is a whole different world out there and apply it to the accounting industry, because there's so much, I think, that can be improved about how we run our practices. So I started Accountants Accelerator in late 2010 to begin sharing this information, and we're now in our 4th year. So I would like to ask you, and if you are here for this CPE, I do need you to answer 3 out of the 4 polling questions that I'm going to be providing you with today. You'll need to be on a PC and not an iPad. The GoToWebinar does not have an iPad polling capability. So very quickly, if you need to switch to your PC if you want CPE. And let me go ahead and launch this question. What is your biggest challenge? And I want you to just select one, even though you might have more than one. What do you feel is your biggest challenge? So we've got a couple of options there for you. If you need more clients, if you need more time, if you feel just completely overwhelmed because perhaps maybe you're starting or retooling your business, if you feel like you're spinning the wheel and a lot of the things have not paid off for you, perhaps you need better direction or different direction. And then some of you, if you don't resonate with any of those four, feel free to type in the question box, and hopefully you can find that on your control panel with GoToWebinar. Type in your question box. All right, confidence is excellent. Confidence is really, really, you know, it makes a bigger difference than what we all really want to admit, doesn't it? Getting higher quality clients, tech and direction. All right, need to learn how to market myself outside of my geographical location. Okay, that's an issue in and of itself. Just starting, have no clients, hate marketing with capital H-A-T-E. You're not alone. But I hope that you can learn to love marketing, maybe just a tiny bit more even within this webinar. It's going to make a difference if you do. All right, we've got 84% voted, so if you need that CPE, or even if you don't, just go ahead and vote, because when I get to 100%, I can go on. But when I get to about 90, I'm probably going to need to go on anyway. So the question's been open for almost 2 minutes. So let me give you about 10, 15 more seconds. If you need CPE, just grab a number really quick and just hit enter so that you can get credit on the log. All right, some of the other things that people have typed in, my biggest challenge is client project management for one-person office. Optimize my efforts so I can add more clients without adding so much time. All right, all of it applies to me, plus I'm shy. You're not the only one, that is for sure. A lot of us are introverts, and you might be surprised that I'm actually very shy and introverted myself. It's just that I'm also very driven. So maybe, I don't know how that works together, but there you have it. All right, and this is a learned skill, by the way. Learning how to do webinars, I had to go get that skill because it wasn't natural. All right, I can't handle it if my marketing does work. All right, oh, afraid I can't handle it if my marketing does work because you're already very busy. Yeah, that's an issue. All right, being afraid to bill for all my hours. Oh, yeah, don't we cave in and we write stuff down? Actually, you're ahead of me. That's one of the ways you leave money on the table. Is this also for bookkeepers or only accountants? It's for both. I have about a one-third in the program is CPAs. So you'll see the demographics a little bit later in a slide. Let me go ahead and shut this. We've got 90% voted now, and let me share the results with you because you're not alone, right? Many of you don't have enough clients or you need more direction. I'm surprised more people didn't say not enough time. It could be we have a lot of people on the call that the practice is not full. By the way, when I say call, I mean webinar interchangeably. We used to do teleseminars. That's why I'm hooked on continuing to say call. All right, so there we have it. We all have the same issues, really. We all kind of have the same struggles in our practice, but there are some great answers. All right, so let's talk about just a few of the things that accounting practices could improve in marketing. One thing is I hear a lot of people bragging, saying, I am 100% referrals, and I'm able to close referrals, you know, all the time. Well, you might be able to do that, and that might be because your price is too low. So everybody's going, wow, what a deal she is. Or if you are 100% referrals, it's probably because your other marketing channels are not working, so you might be leaving money on the table. No skill development in marketing. So one of the things is, and I know this is an issue in our profession, is you are so busy keeping up with the dadgum tax laws. I can't think of another profession that has as much change in service delivery from year to year, new forms, new laws. How in the world are you expected to also keep up with technology and marketing and everything else? Well, there is an answer to that, but we cannot do it all of ourselves. We cannot. So one of the things that we have to do is we have to look at building a true business with full functionality in it. We need a full operations department. We need a full marketing department, and so on and so forth. A lot of us tend to be reactive or possibly even inactive and not proactive. What I teach is how to have a marketing plan. A lot of us also react to what's in the media or what's in our accounting news, and social media is the biggest culprit. I recommend you don't do social media. It's far more expensive than having an effective website, and it's actually less effective than even cold calling or direct mail or something like that. So it could be that you hate marketing because you might be using the most expensive channels. So what we do is we have put the channels in order. There are 22 of them that we talk about, and we put them in order of cost effectivity for professional services firms in accounting. So there is no guesswork. And then also not fully developing their channels, throwing a website out and then not doing the 3 or 4 things you need to do, and then giving up and saying, oh, websites don't work. Well, your website didn't work, but websites do work. I do have accountants that are getting a lot of business off of their website. So they do work, but what happens is we throw it out there just to cross it off the to-do list, and we don't fully learn all about that channel. We don't fully implement it. We just move on to other marketing channels. And what I mean by marketing channel is the website is one, social media is one, search engine optimization is another, etc. So those are some of the 22 channels that we teach. All right. So I think the core problem, if we go, if we ask why, I think it's because we're uncomfortable. I mean, I still am uncomfortable marketing. Are you guys uncomfortable marketing? There's a place where you can raise your hand in your control panel there. If you're uncomfortable marketing, raise your hand, because I think most accountants are. We feel like we're bugging the client, right? So also I think we've got some belief systems that are really kind of justifying not doing anything. Like, I shouldn't have to market. People should just, I'm really good at what I do. I'm good at the taxes. I'm good at the bookkeeping. I shouldn't have to market. Or only desperate people need to market. How many of you guys believe that one? Only desperate people need to market. I think we've really, really, really brainwashed ourselves a little bit. And the problem is the world has significantly changed. What if Coke didn't market? I mean, that stuff tastes pretty darn bad. I mean, some of you might love it, but I think you got to remember that it's a learned taste. I'll never forget when I was traveling overseas and that they have their first taste of Coke, and it's like, ugh. I think it's really a learned skill. So what if Coke didn't market? They wouldn't even have a business. So we definitely need to kind of get over it. And this font's really big on this screen, but this is, I really kind of want to emphasize that we don't realize how much of our lack of marketing knowledge is costing us. So it really is costing us in clients that we could be serving. It's costing us in quality of life. It's costing us in our overhead. It's just not getting covered in some cases. And it's taking us a longer time than we need to start a business. I know that some accountants give up and they go back to being an employee. And I hate to see that. But marketing is very much a part of starting a business. And there's a skill. What's really, really important is it's just a skill like tax. My gosh, you guys are 10 to 15% smarter than the average bear, I promise you. And especially those of you who have gotten your CPAs, although this program is not just for people who have passed the CPA exam, you guys are smarter because you know the numbers and your brain just works in a different way when you work with the numbers and you know all these spreadsheets, you know so many things, you've got all these tax laws that are memorized. That's a lot of stuff. Most people cannot do that. So the skill that you have is not being shared with as many people as it could be. So I think what's really, really important, excuse me, I'm going to choke just a second. Let me get a deal of water, is that we're not serving as many clients as we need to, And you guys know what the small business success rate is. It's like 80% failure still. It's been that way for years. I think if we were more communicative and if we improved our marketing skills, then I think more small businesses would do very, very well. So it's not just about knowing our technical stuff, but it's being able to communicate how we can help small businesses and how we can help other people with the skills that we have, and getting them to buy into the value that we provide, because they don't know that. We have to educate them. All right, so it's really, what the good news is, you can learn marketing with spreadsheets and numbers, because that's how I teach it. So there is hope, and it's really pretty cookbook, and it's far less hard than tax laws, which I think are really hard. So I think that's the good part. So if you don't get anything else out of this program today, know that marketing is, it is doable. It's cookbookable. You can follow a plan and you can follow steps. So that's the good news. All right, so here's 5 ways that it might be costing us. So you might want to use this as a checklist to see if there's anything that you can improve on a little bit. All right, let me read the comments, because I love that last bullet. She said, clients are going without our expertise and they are suffering. Totally agree. Cool, in all caps. All right, awesome. All right, so let's go over these 5 ways, because I want you to turn it around. All right, so one of the ways I talked about, I touched on briefly, using the wrong or more expensive or less effective marketing channels. Social media is a perfect example of that. It might be working for you, but guess what? There was something that was 10 times cheaper that you didn't use, because social media is very time-consuming. So what will happen is, when you do get this corrected, you'll be able to lower your marketing costs, and you won't need as many leads, which would be great. Maybe you can close the leads that you get, and then you won't need as many leads to fill your practice, because it's a numbers game. It's like, dating in a way. It's a numbers game. All right, and then not doing the 4 things you need to do to increase client retention. I think the thing, and then we're going to really focus on this year, because 10 to 15% of your marketing should be lead generation. Now, when I say lead generation, I mean going after strangers, getting to know them, and getting their business. All right, so that's lead generation. In other words, finding people to market and sell your business, sell your services to. So 90 or 85% of your marketing function needs to be 4 things to increase client retention and to do some other things. You might not need as many leads if you could lower your client attrition, and I will be willing to bet almost all of you are leaving money on the table by not upselling and cross-selling to your current clients who love you and already trust you. So one thing I think is very important there is to realize that I think we're missing out on a whole function in terms of marketing, and really understanding what marketing is and what it can do for our business and how it can increase revenue in the most cost-effective way. The third way it's costing us is by having poor selling skills ourselves, or not having a process for selling. Selling is a process, and it's most effective done in a process, because how can you improve if you just wing it every time you pick up the phone when a stranger's on the other end? So what happens is, if you can improve your selling skills, you'll need fewer leads, and it will lower your selling cost. So the question is it okay to hire a salesperson? And that's like probably a whole hour I could answer that. So let me just put it this way. What you need in your business, no matter how you execute it, is you are going to need some kind of formalized sales function. Whether you do a portion of that or you outsource it to a team is really secondary to getting the processes in place. So that's the way I'm going to answer that in 5 seconds. How's that? All right, and then the last 5 ways it's costing us is many of us are serving the wrong type of client. I just had a lady, let's see if she's on the call today. I just had a lady in a workshop that it sounded like she's got all the wrong clients, all right? So if you've got clients that are really nickeling and diming you and are, really struggling in terms of, not wanting to pay the bill and not valuing your service and not really reading their reports and not really feeling like they benefit from your service and just totally treating you like a commodity and compliance service, then you may be just suffering with the whole wrong type of client in your practice. And guess what? There is a heaven, So you want to find clients that that are respectful and that value you. And part of that is a skill you can build, but another part of it is the your marketing materials and who they're attracting and doing your homework on the type of client that you want to attract. So that's a skill that you can learn how to do. And then the last of the 5 ways that it might be costing us is, and I still do this, you guys. I still have work to do on this, is emotionally caving in on the pricing or pricing too low. So it's your benefit, actually, on some of this. But anyway, how many times are we in front of a prospect and we know what our price is, and out of our mouth comes a whole different number because we want the client, we're a little hungry, So learning how to do that, learning to have a system, and I'll tell you some secrets around this, which are really funny and very counterintuitive, and it'll really make a difference in your practice. And surprisingly enough, confidence has some level, well, not surprisingly enough, confidence has some level to do with it, but there are some other counterintuitive things that are quite fun. And this actually causes us to over-deliver. Some of you may be giving away services for free because you don't want to bother writing it down in billing. You've got scope creep because you're too busy to stop in the middle of tax season, right, or January or quarterly, when you're doing the quarterlies. You just don't want to bother. You just go ahead and give it to them, right? So when you add all that up, week in, week out, it adds up to a lot of increased revenue. And some of you are also giving employee-level service. And when you serve a business, business to business, that doesn't mean answering their email within 5 minutes. That's an employee. So your customers are actually running your business instead of you running your business when you're giving away that employee-level service. What I suggest is that you charge more for higher access to you, which means you've got to be a little bit unavailable. And in a way that's very counterintuitive. You have to do that right for it to work. But it does work very effectively, and people begin respecting you even more when you're a little bit harder to get to. All right. So those are the 5 ways. Anybody can relate? Anything else you might want to contribute? I'll just read it out in the question box. Let me see what else. Niche or not. All right. So question, niche or not. Let me see if there's a polling question because, yeah, let me go ahead and launch this polling question because then we can keep going. So which of the 5 I just mentioned do you think might be your best opportunity? So, oh, totally didn't do that right, did I? Okay, let me start over and select. There we go. Details, details. All right, which of the 5 I just mentioned is your best opportunity? So the wrong marketing methods, wrong type of client, low close ratio, sets your selling skills, client attrition, price too low. So you can only pick one. You can only pick one. How do I stop what? Go ahead and somebody said, how do I stop that? How do I stop what? All right, so let me talk about niche or not while you guys are doing the polling question. You know what? It depends, but let me just give you one hint, Jim. If you're marketing to everyone, you're marketing to no one because no one feels special. All right, we got a lot of people typing all of the above. How do you stop all of the above? Oh, okay, that was the question. All right, yeah. Yeah, so that's about an hour call. Basically, you kind of just reset your service level. And when you have a new agreement with a new client, you want to have your service level, and you just want to set the expectation with the client at the beginning of the relationship. Honestly, if you answer within a day, that rocks, I think. All right, my passion is to help small and new businesses. They often have low funds. Should I not target them? Oh, no, absolutely. We have a lot of people who love to work with startups, so I think that's fine. You should do what you want to do. All right, so being too available, how to stop, we talked about that. With niches, can your niche be gross revenue? I don't know what that means. Can you rephrase it or someone else explain it to me? Because I'm not sure. Okay, a lot of you wanted an all of the above choice. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, so we've got 83% voted. So go ahead for me, and I really do recommend that you go ahead and get your vote in really quickly. I need to go ahead and close it in about 10 seconds. So if you need CPE, jump in and do that for me. All right, we still have a couple people that are jumping in now. So here we go, 85, we're sneaking up there. All right, go ahead and get that CPE question answered very quickly. We're going to close it out. All right, here we go. So let me share that. All right, interesting. So it's almost split except for the client attrition. Most of you are doing a great job on keeping your clients. That's excellent. All right. So the most important one was think you're using the wrong marketing methods. Yeah, you're not alone on all these. So they're common problems around the entire profession. All right, let's keep going. And let's go ahead and the 3 skills that you need, talking about that. One of the things I've seen is that in time management, there are a lot of people teaching time management, but one of the problems is they're making about the same amount of money you are. And we're probably pretty darn good at managing our time because we've had to find ways to streamline throughout the tax season. What I see missing out of this body of training in the accounting industry is people who have actually spent time with millionaires and billionaires. Honestly, they do their time differently. And it's not about needing to have 8 million people around you. I can actually teach you how to pick up like 10 to 15% of your time by just in 1 hour. I can do that. I wish I could do it on this call, but we're not going to do that today. But what I do want you to know is that there are ways that you can actually save more time than what you're doing now. And when you implement those, it will make a difference, because the other thing you've got to do is you've got to start valuing your time, and you've got to start valuing the things you do. If you're doing a bunch of $5 and $10 an hour tasks, then that's what you're going to make, in the year. So what you've got to do is you've got to have the confidence and have the self-esteem or whatever it is to set your boundaries and start doing some different things. And then also we teach how to do some different things in different orders, and we teach a little bit different. We teach a couple of technology tricks, but it's not all technology. It's more mindset. And so there's simple changes, but they're not easy to make. It really requires some significant behavior change. And when you're in a group like Accountants Accelerator, it really helps because you've got that support of people cheering you on to make the change. So I think time management is one of the toughest mindset behavioral changes you can do. But it can make all the difference in the world because millionaires and billionaires, they have the same 24/7 that we do. But they do things differently. They totally do things differently, and so that's a skill that you're going to want to pick up. And then also marketing. I think, the point's clear already on marketing. I don't think we have to talk about that. But I know you guys love the topic of pricing, right? So pricing is part of marketing, And someone's asking, okay. Somebody was asking, how do you raise your prices? And there's actually a whole systematic way that we recommend. We have templates and everything. We have price increase letter templates because we know you don't like to write. And then we have a whole procedure on how to do that so that you keep your risk low. The key to it is to keep your risk really, really low so that you don't have that client attrition. And then once you do that, you can, and that's why we suggest that you phase it in with different types of clients, across a period of time, and you follow a certain series of steps to increase your prices. So the first step is to go up on new clients. All right, so I'll just give you the first step of it because that's all we have time to do today. All right, and then the third skill is practice or project management. So there really is a set of skills around project management, working with clients, developing your practice, pricing, and understanding, your revenue per client, your revenue per project, how you're pricing, how you did, what margins you have, how your overhead allocation looks, and then everything that goes with that, including, all the communications and supervising your team and tracking all the tasks and all that kind of stuff. So that's probably the most complicated skill in terms of the learning curve is a little bit longer on that one. Honestly, marketing is pretty easy, and you can learn that over time. You can do what I call the lowest hanging fruit. So you go after the lowest hanging fruit. You implement a couple of easy things to get some easy increase in revenue. You don't have to be a marketing genius on day one to start benefiting. You just have to implement a couple of things, right? So the skills are all different, but I suggest that those are, not technical skills. Technology is not anywhere. And then also all the tax and the accounting things we need to know, that's your technical stuff. These are more business, entrepreneur. So what I'm suggesting is to learn to get the skills you need to move yourself from a technician, because we're effectively technicians. We're accountants, tax people, that's technical. To effectively move from being technicians to being true business owners with a true business model that's profitable and that supports our family the way that we want to. So we suggest there's a couple things you're going to want to do to fix it. Training is the piece of it that's the easiest, right? You can train. You guys go get your CPE. You know how to do that. It's just natural, right? So we train for our skill build. But implementing is another thing, especially if there's some emotional fear or some resistance around the marketing. So we suggest you also have accountability. And then I think you guys know where this is going. We suggest that you have accountability so that you have more success in implementation. And then we also suggest that you have clarity, focus, and direction. And, of course, I'm going to tell you that the Accountants Accelerator program does have all three, all right, of those things. But I do believe that no matter what program you decide to get into, you're going to want to make sure you've got those three components. You've got the training component, the accountability component, and then, some coaching, some kind of coaching, clarity, focus, and direction, because otherwise you're going to still kind of spin your wheels a little bit. All right, now, I'm going to be asking for ranges here because I'm just interested in this. And if you do not want to answer this, it's okay, because what we'll do is we do have a fourth polling question. All right, so you need to answer 3 out of the 4 polling questions. And hopefully it's such a wide range. I'm not breaking any FTC rules or anything like that. But I think you guys might be curious, as we've got dozens and dozens of people on the call today. So, and actually hundreds of people on the call today. So what it might be interesting to see what, oh, I've got a bullet there for I'd rather not say, so that'll work. All right, so for those of you that don't want to disclose your rate, I've got an out, and you can still get your CPE credit. I forgot I did that. All right, so we got 76% voted, so go ahead and type in your answer there, and hopefully, again, it's broad enough ranges. And we do have all sorts of skill sets on the line. So we have CPAs, we have EAs, we have bookkeepers, we may have some admins, we have tax people, so we're going to have all different kind of people. All right. Best way to raise prices, do you notify or just do it? Always notify and give them plenty of notice. Can you say you will work with clients whose gross revenue is between $250? Yeah, I would definitely recommend that. So giving a range of what a client's gross revenue might be. How do you determine what your prices should be? Boy, that's a complicated question. I'm not going to be able to answer that in even like probably 2 or 3 hours. But there's about 5 ways I recommend that you get to your price. All right, so let me see. Oh, very competitive in your small town. Yeah. It sounds like you're going to want some support from somewhere, if not us. All right, good. Okay. Is there a way to see the questions being posed to Sandy? No. Sorry about that. Although if we answer one, you can actually save the log. So if you go up to the File menu on your thing, it'll say Save Questions Log. So if we publish out the answer to everybody, then we will save it. But you're going to have this recording, and you're also going to have a transcript. So you can read through the, oh, we normally don't transcript these, but I'll go ahead and do it since I slipped and said it. Elena, will you make a note that I said that? Yeah, so you'll be able to read through the questions that I read out loud. All right. Is there a specific practice management software you recommend? I just did 8-hour session on that. Yeah, so I definitely can't answer that in 5 minutes. You guys are asking really great questions. They just take longer to answer than the 5 seconds we have on this call. All right, so let me see what else you've got. All right, this has been 89%. Want to see what everybody else? Give you about 5 more seconds to vote if you need to. All right, so here we go. So this is the range of everybody. So most of you are in 36 to 75. That would make the most sense. And then some of you are doing great, over 125. That's a pretty good number for this group. Cool. All right, so there you have it. Okay, what is my hourly rate? It's $800 an hour. Okay. Yes, I can see your comment, Linda, but I don't have time to type a yes to that. Okay. All right. So do want to talk about return on investment, because I'm sure when you make an investment in a program, you're going to want to make sure that it pays back for you. All right. So that's why I asked you what your hourly rate is. How long would it take you to make more than 20 forms, checklists, and procedures? Because that's one aspect of what you're going to get. If you need to further systematize your business with forms, checklists, and procedures, then that is part of what Accountants Accelerator 2014 will be. So I just assumed at $100 for 1 hour each form, but it could be if you make more or less, you can adjust that and figure out what your return on investment is going to be for each of those forms. We're guessing that we can probably lower your marketing costs anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 just if you do a website in that range and it doesn't pay back for you, you've gotten that investment back. You know, one of the things that I just got off the call from one of my clients she's been in the program for 2 years, and she says, now the time that I spend on my business, I'm not flailing. I'm not, you know, I'm not spinning my wheels where 90% of what I do doesn't work. You know, almost 100% of what I do works now, and I really get my time investment back because I'm working on my business a good percentage of the time, and then I'm billing out the rest of the time. So all the time I spend on my business is productive because I've gotten the right kind of clarity and direction and support from the group. So these are some of the things that you will get from the program. Also, we suspect, and we've seen this is a huge range. It depends on you. If you just really immerse yourself into this program, you're going to get additional revenue, and we've had people get additional revenue up to $50,000 per year. We've had lots of people do very, very well. The person that I just talked to this morning, 75% increase in her business, she attributes half of that to the Accountants Accelerator program, and she was in good shape before she joined. So that would be a little over 30% increase. So you can also compute that when you're computing your return on investment in the program. If you decide to increase your price, you can calculate that as your return on investment for the program, because we will talk you through a price increase. And again, what happens is I hear people, you know, I didn't lose any clients. I hadn't gone up in 6 years. I was scared to death. I followed your format. And, you know, I had one client argue, but I didn't lose any, and we talked to him, you know. So, you know, honestly, it's such a mindset change, and it's been that way for me. It's like if I don't have people arguing with me on price, then I know that I've messed up on my price. I actually need to have a client argue with me about my price. All right, because otherwise I'm not pushing it on price, or I'm not pushing it on sales enough. All right, I know that's not a mindset you guys might be ready for, so if you're not ready for that, that's okay. There's other things, but that's actually, you know, millionaire, billionaire thinking, okay. All right, and then you might have some additional revenue from new staff hired. We have people in the program that are hiring staff. We've actually got a little session. Actually, part of 2014, we're going to go over a whole. We're going to have a whole section on hiring, but that'll be in about 9 months from now. So if you're ready to hire staff now, we're actually having a program starting Friday. All right, so you can add all that up and see what your investment might be in terms of the return in Accountants Accelerator 2014. The big news this year is we're having 3 levels. We're having a core program that's training and the community group. We're having a core plus mastermind, which includes that accountability component. You're going to tell your peers what you're going to do, and then you're going to do it, hopefully, or you're going to be embarrassed. So we're going to really help you with your guilt. We're going to help your guilt, you know, grow your business a little bit if you need that help. All right. And then if you want really, really accelerated help, then the highest level has private coaching along with a mastermind and the training. So it has all 3 components for just the highest acceleration of your practice. So I'm going to get to know you personally. We're going to be on quarterly calls, and then we'll go from there. All right. One question that I had earlier is, if, you know, I don't know what level I want, can I upgrade to another level later? And the answer is yes, but you'll have to go with the difference in whatever the current prices are. All right. So right now, our first price break is on August 5th. So between now and August 5th, you can get into any level that you want, and then if you want, you can upgrade to the next level, but the price might be different after August 5th. All right, so yes, we will have that capability for you to go up levels. All right, so who is in Accountants Accelerator? This is from 2012, actually. We're just compiling the results from 2013. We have 70% women. we have strong showing in the West and the East and the Midwest. And I think, it's just kind of parallel to what the U.S. distribution of population is. We have people in rural. We have people in the city. The question is there a discount for AA 2013 members? The answer is yes. Go into the Ning forum, look under bonuses, and find the actual, oh, okay, I'm getting another question coming in, that's why I'm stuttering. And find the link, Greg. And then also those of you who are in Jumpstart, there is a discount link on the Jumpstart page. So don't want you to pay me full price. Go to the Jumpstart page and you'll get a small discount as well. All right, so if you are a 2013 alum or if you're a Jumpstart member, you're going to get a discount off the main page. If you're a new member, I actually reward current clients. It's the opposite of Comcast and Verizon. All right, they're always trying to get new clients at a discounted price. And doesn't that make you mad? I actually have the reverse. I reward current clients, okay? The more you spend with me, the less you have to pay for programs. Did I not show the poll results of the rate? Maybe I didn't. Did I, Elena? All right, there it is right there. Real quick. And we're going to go ahead and move on then. And we've got one more polling question in just a little bit. Okay, and then you can also see, and you can actually go to the links so that you can see this bigger. But we have people that have been in business, like 40% of people have been in business for more than 9 years. So we've got people all over the map. All right. So okay. So you can go in and see that a little bit later, and that's actually on the menu now in Accountants Accelerator. If you go to Programs and Services and you ask who is in Accountants Accelerator, oh, she changed the name, that's why. So you can see it from Programs and Services and who is in Accountants Accelerator, and so that you can kind of see it and how you fit in. We have a lot of QuickBooks Pro advisors. We have 1/3 CPAs. We have 15% enrolled agents, 14%. We have fewer valid, what we call VARs, people who sell software. And then you can see we have very few audit. We have people that just only do training, but most of you do systems installation, bookkeeping, and controller, and then QuickBooks cleanup. All right, so that's who is in Accountants Accelerator. All right, so what you get, I'm going to go over this really quickly because there's a sales page that you can go to. I don't think I mentioned one thing earlier, about the issues that we don't help you with. We have series on time management. We have huge time savers with the templates. We know you love the templates. We know you don't like to write. I love to write, so I write stuff for you. Checklist forms, templates, marketing materials. We may not do as much marketing material as we did last time. We'll see. Marketing skill build. You'll get those channels. You'll get them in order of the lowest cost. That's pretty priceless if you ask me. As we've learned more, about marketing and marketing for you guys, we're able to do that now. Marketing plans for each channel, case studies of peer successes. You guys asked for that. We're going to do it. We take a survey every year and ask you for what you want. The really cool part is once I teach you this stuff, you can actually offer it to your clients. And it's like an additional skill for you because it's all spreadsheets and your clients don't know how to do it. So it's like a double bonus. You not only improve your own practice, but you have more to offer your clients when you're in this program. So I didn't even put that on the return on investment. All right, the practice management. We're going to do sample budgets for the first time this year. We're going to do a sample P&L, planning, staffing, lots of staffing forms. We're going to have performance evaluations. We're going to have interview questions. We're going to give you the interview process that I use that you can get a star in 3 days. Lots more checklist forms, case studies, metrics, not the metrics that our accounting industry uses, realization, utilization, those don't make any sense from a business standpoint. In my opinion, we're going to give you some metrics that really, really matter. All right, so what do you feel that you might need the most? Let's go ahead and launch this last polling question. All right, and I'm going to go give you some time on the to answer the polling question if you need CPE. Yes, I did just say that there is a discount for members of Jumpstart. You need to go to your Jumpstart download page. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't give you all of the above. Okay. You have to pick one. I'm sorry. One of these was supposed to be choose more than one. Maybe I goofed up and didn't write it for my team. Is it possible to grow my practice through your program without hiring any employees? Yes, absolutely. And then you're going to get to a point to where you'll have to make a decision about lifestyle on that. And that's okay because we have both. All right, so about 78% voted. %. Let's go ahead and get our vote in quickly if you need. If it's your first year in Accountants Accelerator, I can't really, I think what you want to do is go back and look at, do you need training? Do you need accountability? Do you know yourself? Do you need direction? If you need, you can always go ahead and go into that bottom level with training. But if one of these other things kind of sticks out for you, you might want to consider the level. Does the Accountant Accelerator program include the Are You Getting Paid What You're Worth? Yeah, we'll definitely cover that. Okay, we've got 87%. I'm going to go ahead and close this poll very quickly if you need it. Jump quick. All right, and then share. Most of you need training, is what you say. And then some of you want the accountability and the done-for-you checklist. And then a few of you want the case studies. I think when you see how powerful they are, you'll really enjoy them. Because, you can hear from me all day long, but I love it when a peer says, this worked. That is so valuable. All right, so what you're going to get is, this is a fully virtual program. You don't have to travel anywhere. You don't have hotel costs, all right? This program was not designed by me. It was designed by my billionaire coach. And there's nobody in the accounting industry that's doing what we're doing. I really, truly can say that. There are other marketing consultants, but nobody's doing this kind of self-serve, hold your hand, here's a bunch of stuff you need to know that's super practical. I don't think anybody's doing it like we're doing it, and they definitely don't have a program designed like mine, because this is really the genius of how this program was designed is really, really cool, because it gives you the support you need. You don't feel alone. How many of you feel like you're alone out there trying to figure out what the heck to do? Because it's kind of a solo kind of a business build. I mean, you can't talk to your family about some of this stuff unless they're entrepreneurs, right? So it's helpful to really have someone to talk about. All right, we do it via webinar. So if you're on the webinar today, you've got all the technology you need to know. We provide the PowerPoint. We provide transcript. We have a lot of people, not a lot, but a few who are hearing impaired that really appreciate that. We provide the recording because we know you're busy and it's okay not to attend every single one of them, but you want to definitely listen to the recording. We provide the community forum where you can do networking, you can ask questions, the materials you can download, there are bonuses, there's a library. We're going to have the case studies there, we're going to have the checklist, forms, samples, and templates. One of the really cool things we did last year is we had y'all donate templates to each other. So it was really great. That was so great, because then I think really what happens is that you guys share from each other. And if you're like tired of hearing from me, you'll implement it because you not only heard it from me, but you heard it from 5 peers that did it, and like, okay, yeah, you're ready to do it. So whatever it takes, accountability-wise, right? So here's my offer today. FillYourAccountingPractice.com. Accountants Accelerator 2014 will start September 1st, 2013 through August 31st, 2014. That gives you lots of time before tax season when we scale down a little bit. Gives you lots of time before tax season to get your materials in place, to get your homework done about your ideal client, to get your time management behavior changed a little bit so that you're starting to benefit when you're not rushed, and everything's going to be flying out the window in terms of change. So we feel like this is the perfect time of the year to start. So September 1st to August 31st, and we just have fewer webinars during tax season. We kind of go quiet for a couple of weeks. We had one in late March, which was really well attended, and we generally do stuff on time management because that's when you really need a break and you need to hear some inspirational ideas. So that's how we handle tax season. All right, so you can go to FillYourAccountingPractice.com and you'll see the 3 levels. If you need a payment plan, what I'll need you to do is scroll all the way to the bottom after the testimonials. It's a really long web page. Go all the way to the bottom and you'll see the payment plans if you need that. And so you 3 levels to choose from. You can always upgrade later at no penalty. 2 ways to pay. Discount pricing ends Monday, August 5th. So you've got what? You've got until Monday. Well, you've got until, September, October, but the discount pricing ends Monday, and it's $100 off right now on the lowest level. It's a little more than that on the higher levels. All right, FillYourAccountingPractice.com, and I do have a bonus. There's a couple of reasons to go ahead and get in early, and I don't want to be a pressure type of a person, but in this case, if you are in the masterminds, there's a couple, if you're at the higher 2 levels, there's a couple reasons to register early. One is the sooner you register, the better pick of mastermind groups. I'm going to hand pick those and group you guys myself. And then also, for the higher levels, you're going to get a better chance that you're going to get your pick of time slots, coaching times. And then the other thing, so there's more incentive to register sooner for the higher levels. And then at the lower level, at the training level, what I want to do is for the first 50 people who register, I want to give you a bonus webinar. How many of you guys get, well, I think you should be $15 an hour. I actually did a spreadsheet last week where I started at $15 an hour, and then I added all of the value adds to take it up to your current rate, so that you can use those as talking points when you get that client that's at $15 an hour and just doesn't know any better. And it's not that they're, cheap. They're just ignorant of what they get, and they probably think they're going to get someone who doesn't know debits and credits, who doesn't know how to post, or who only knows how to post, who doesn't know how to save you money, and all this other kind of stuff. So when you language the conversation differently, you're going to not have those people, right? You're just not going to, it's not going to be an issue. So what I want to do is provide the first 50 of you that register with the bonus webinar, and we're going to have that in mid-August, all right? And that will be recorded. But I think the spreadsheet's going to be a lot of fun. And we are only going to do that for the first 50 people. Usually we leave it in, but we're not doing that this year. So it's only going to be for the first 50 of you who register. All right, let's see. I always like to end by saying, what one thing will you do from this webinar? So what I'd like to do is have you go over your notes, and whether you're going to register or not, what are you going to implement? Go ahead and type it in the box. What are you going to implement? What are you going to do differently? Okay, so how many hours a week can I expect to spend? I asked for 1 to 2 hours a week at the lowest level. So the masterminds are going to be probably add 1 to 2 hours a month to that, and then the coaching is going to be add 1 to 2 hours a month to that. All right, so the bottom line is, believe me, if you spend 1 or 2 hours a week, you're going to have a significant uptick in your business. You're going to save time. You're definitely going to improve your practice. All right, good. Increase my marketing efforts, make sure I have a marketing plan, spend time on my business. I will not be afraid to ask for what I'm worth. Good for you. All right. I'm going to be packaging my services. Excellent. Start learning about marketing. Definitely register. Thank you for that. 1 to 2 hours a week to work on my business and stick to it. Excellent. I live and work outside the U.S. currently. How applicable are the tools to me? What country are you in? And then I'll answer that. If you're in Canada, we have probably about 10 or 15 Canadians in the program. We did have 1 person from Africa, 1 person from Europe. We had a couple people from Australia, New Zealand. Honestly, if you're from Europe, I would honestly say you're probably going to need to get a different program because for some reason we're not all that successful with people in Europe for some reason. Very successful with people in the U.S. and Canada. All right. Write a new marketing plan, review our pricing structure, define niche. Very good. All right, awesome. FillYourAccountingPractice.com. FillYourAccountingPractice.com. All right, thanks everybody. Let me make sure. Did I type it in wrong? FillYourAccountingPractice.com. Right? Let me just make sure. You should see a picture of me. All right, here it is right here, FillYourAccountingPractice.com. And this is the page that you want right here. There's a lot on it. Tells you, you know, who you are. If you feel like you've got these issues, that's who we're designed for, what you're going to get. You can see all of the bullets. We cover the CPE. I've got a few more we need to add, but these are the exact webinars that we're going to have next year, or starting in September. And then you can see what other people in the program, you can see the 3 tiers and what you're going to get. You can see all the other people in the program, you know, some of the things they say, and then you can also go to our testimonial section, and then below all that is the payment plans, all right? So hopefully you can read through this, take your time, make sure it's right for you, and then hope to see you in the program. All right, thanks everybody, appreciate it very much. To get your CPE certificate, I think we'll probably have an email, a follow-up email. So what you can do is you will want to go to our download page, which is, let's see if it's right here. No, that's the main forum. All right, let's go to the download page, which is Sneak Peek, and that is where you're going to get your CPE certificate as soon as she gets done with it, which is probably going to be tomorrow. All right, so the video will be uploaded here, and then also your CPE certificate will be uploaded here as well. And then for your convenience, you know, we've got the link to the Fill Your Accounting Practice right here. All right, and that should be 2014. All right, very good. Okay, thanks everybody. We'll hopefully we'll talk to you soon. And if you've got questions, please email us at support@sandysmith.com. Or if you want to go to the contact page and you've got questions about the program, we'll be happy to answer those individually by email, or if we need to set up a call, we can do that too. support@sandysmith.com. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.